Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Rescuing Our Communities initiative to empower and educate victims of domestic violence, intimate partnership, and parental alienation, my name is Clayton here. Forgive the 2 week hiatus, but I've been somewhat busy. So today, we're here to talk about the true price of freedom and what you, as a victim, will probably have to pay for it to achieve it. Because I've just done it. Am I happy I've done it? Absolutely not. Is it something that's going to cause me some trepidation at the time or a little uncomfortableness? Absolutely. For people this morning, I feel great. I feel great because one of the major burdens of my life has been removed from me, thanks to the idiocy and stupidity of my enemy. So I haven't talked about this much on my podcast because it's something I was dealing with. Truly something I was dealing with. Something that's really difficult for me as an individual, as a black man, as someone who's never been in this situation before, trying to adjust to life with an autistic child. Autism is a term that is used now in today's times to describe a condition that was known back in my days as being retarded. And although that term is outdated, it just is what it is. It's not illegal, it's not mean, but the whole point is back in the 90s, in the early 2000s, when people would walk around in subways or on buses in New York or be on the yellow cerebral palsy bus or be in school, we call them retarded. It's not nice, no, but this is what we knew as people back in the 90s and the 80s because our knowledge of conditions like autism and nonverbal conditions, etc., weren't as vast as they are now. But people, I'm a realist, and I've learned in my life to deal with things in the ultimate sphere of reality because it's the only way that you can truly address problems. Now, I was locked out of my child's life for about 3 years. But about maybe 8 months into her life, 9 months into her life, I began to notice signs that she could be autistic, her lack of attention span, her complete disinterest with social communication. I know these things, and I tried to relay this to her drug addict, crackhead, disgusting, poor excuse of a disgusting creature of a mother. But her mother wanted to be in a relationship with me, was jealous of the ex girlfriend who happened to stalk me for the next 3 years, so she would not entertain anything that had to do with this. Fast forward a few months, my ex girlfriend assaults the kid. She finds out, she uses that information to petition the Brooklyn Family Court to keep me away from my child for 3 years. So for 3 years, I fight these allegations, and the whole time, I don't know that the child's autism has been diagnosed as severe. So now, when I finally get back into my child's life and I'm trying to figure out everything, this scumbag mother of the child is doing everything she can to try to deprive me of the information of the child's true condition. I mean, audience, I'm contacting the school. She's telling the school not to give me information about the child's autism. I'm trying to contact the doctors. She's telling the doctors not to let me know the full extent of the child's autism because, see, cheap people, the truth was her objective was to try to use this information to control me with the child. And the longer she could hide the information, she thought she would be able to keep me in the wings and hopefully be able to manipulate it into something where she was into an advantage. But people, unfortunately for this crusty crackhead chick, I'm not dumb. And people, I paid attention to my child. I watched her. I researched. I read. And I realized after a couple of weeks of being back in my child's life that she was highly autistic. She was not just nonverbal. If we're going to take it back to the 90s term, she is highly retarded. And I saw it. And people, it broke my heart when I realized what was really wrong with my child. I'm going to share a story with you. A couple of months ago, I took her to a park not too far from my house. You know, it was the first time I had taken her to a park. My daughter, 4 years old, I had never taken to a park because of what her mother had done lying to the courts. So it was a nice day a couple of weeks ago. You know, the weather was changing. I said, come on, baby, let's go to the park. So I take her to the park to play on the swing. So the park is full of little girls and little boys, same age as her, 3, 4 years old, playing with kids. And people, this is where I saw the true effects of autism on a kid. Now, my kid is in this park, and it's 30 kids in there. She's in the corner of the park playing by herself, and she's having a freaking ball. Not to speak badly about her, because she's a happy-go-lucky little kid. She was having a great time. But the whole point of social interaction with children is to interact with other children, and she was completely ignoring these kids. So as I'm watching her, people, I started to realize, like, wow, look at my baby. She is completely in her own world. People, it hurt. God, it hurt people. And as I sat there, another child was watching my daughter play, and my daughter looked like she was having so much fun. I guess this little girl said to herself, damn, I want to hang out with that chick. She's having a great time. So the little girl goes over to the corner of my daughter And you know, kids are amazing people. Kids are amazing how they interact. You can learn so much by watching kids interact. So like a little puppy, she goes around my daughter and she's just trying to feel out if she's safe. I see her watching my daughter playing, just seeing if she can get it, which I thought was amazing watching this kid gauge if she should play with my daughter. So my daughter had the ball, and the little girl was so sweet. She came and she said, "Can I play?" My daughter totally ignored her. So when the little girl my daughter hit the ball, I guess trying to hit it over the thing, the little girl hit it back to her. My daughter flips out, runs to the little girl, pushes her on the floor, goes back to the ball, and starts playing with herself. So now the girl's mother sees it. She comes over, she's flipping out, people. And I had to calm this woman down, like, ma'am, forgive me. She's autistic. The second I said that to this woman, her face and emotions dropped, and a look of pity came over her face to me. And she apologized. She took her daughter and she walked away. People, that shit broke my heart. Because I realized at that moment my child was going to be looked at with that pity, and I was going to be treated like that for the rest of my life because my daughter is retarded. So, people, I sat there that day, people, I was in so much pain. I was hurt, people. Oh, I was hurt. It took me a little while to kind of gain composure of myself, people. Quietly sitting on this bench, quietly crying to myself while my daughter played at herself in the park, people. And as I sat there, maybe another hour, just trying to watch her and play, I thought about her life and how bad her life could be if something doesn't happen. So I began to try to take more efforts to work with her mother, people. Thank God I never spoke to this woman. I text her everything that I said. I tried to let her know about the child's autism, the true degree of it, because I knew I tried to do things to work with her. I tried to create a schedule, some type of system to help our daughter get over the mental disability she had. But this little roach chick is so pathetic, so small of a person. The only thing she was concerned with was me being in a relationship with her. So a couple of weeks ago, people, the reality of that set in for this disgusting roach pussy little girl that she realized that there was no way in hell that I was ever going to date her again. So what she decides to do is try to bar me from the child by refusing to comply with the custody order that she signed. So now, people, at first I was angry. I was angry. But when I sat back that week, and it actually took me about 2 weeks, let me be fair, because she denied me the first weekend, and I was pissed. I was filing motions. I'm trying to contact her lawyer. My daughter got suspended from school that Monday because the mother is negligent and was refusing to comply with the medical staff. Thank God I have proof of that already, so I don't even need to deal with the school. I'm trying to work with the lawyer, and some racist, cracker ass, fat pussy lawyer she has, excuse my language, people, because that's exactly what that man is, decides to falsify a family petition on me. So yesterday I go to court, and people, thank God that matter is now over. I have decided that in the best interest of my life, my safety, and my personal success and future freedom, that the best thing for me to do is sign over all rights to that child and say, fuck that kid and let that girl deal with that mentally disabled baby herself. Because, see, people, I was a good father. I was taking the child every weekend willingly. I had paid thousands of dollars for tutoring for speech therapy that my daughter was going to with me every week I took her. Thank God I have the receipts for that. People, I spent thousands of dollars in gifts. I was buying educational programs. I was working with the school. People, by all accounts, I was being a good father. But because this woman is petty and realizes she's a loser and the man that she had a baby with would do nothing with her, people, she decided to destroy her child's relationship with her father. And she should congratulate herself this morning, people, because she has. Because now I don't have to worry about this autistic child. I don't have to be embarrassed taking her to the park when she's drooling all over the place and doesn't want to play with little kids. I don't have to be afraid when she hits 13, 14 years old of taking her out and being embarrassed in public because she's so mentally behind that she's going to be a 13-year-old in a 3-year-old's little body. Now, people, I'm praying that that's not the case. God, I'm praying that's not the case, and this child develops enough intellectually where she understands the concept of a father and wants to contact me. But that's all I can hope for, people. I can't hope to change her condition dealing with her scumbag, prostitute, roach ass mother. I can't. And forgive that language, people, but that's exactly what this young woman is. She is a roach. She is a disgusting online low level chick who does the most deplorable things to support herself. She assumed because her child's father was in law school and had things going for himself that she could manipulate me into a relationship. One of the most embarrassing things that I experienced was my lawyer finally seeing what this girl looked like yesterday. My lawyer saw this girl yesterday. He said, Clayton, what the hell is wrong with you? Look at that chick. Look how skinny she is. She looks like a fucking drug addict. Why would you sleep with her? People, I was humiliated with attorney saw this girl. So you can only imagine how happy I was that I have been granted an out. And people, what do I mean that I've been granted an out? People, my out was signing over all custody rights. So I no longer have an obligation other than basic child support to the child. However, what I did that this stupid little girl doesn't know that before I made this agreement, I already petitioned the Commission of Family Services to suspend those payments based on what she had done. Because people, you should not get money for a child if you're manipulating the child to try to control the parent, and I can prove it, people. I've tried to set up bank accounts to send her money for the child. She's refused. She doesn't want the Commissioner of Social Services to know I'm giving her money, so she demands cash. And people, that's fraud. So what I did was just make a well-prepared motion where I showed the Commissioner of Family Services in Brooklyn all of this in a motion. And temporarily, they granted my request to suspend all child support payments until the hearing in about a month. People, I'm done. As a man, I should not be made to take care of a child that a disgusting woman is using as a tool to try to control me, and I can prove it. So, people, I have elected, and I don't feel bad, people. I actually feel, I woke up this morning feeling really free. I'm going to be honest with you. It's probably the freest I've felt with regard to the situation with my child and everything that's going on in 3 years. People, I woke up this morning with a weight lifted off of me. Now, true, that is my daughter, and I do love her, and I'm going to think about her. But life has taught me in the last 5 years that we will lose a lot of people in our lives that we care a lot about, and there's nothing you can do about it. You have to live with it. You have to overcome the pain of losing that person, and it makes you a different person. It wakes you up. It matures you if you handle it the right way. Unfortunately, for this stupid girl who thinks that she's going to use a child to control me, I found my mother dead on the floor 5 years. And that was somebody that I loved more than anything that I realized immediately I would never get back. Do you think I have any problem with with relinquishing access to a child based on a mother who's trying to destroy me? Fuck no, people. I have no problem doing it. I feel no guilt for doing that. I already know that this disgusting woman's gonna lie and call me a deadbeat dad. You can do whatever you want because I have thousands of dollars to prove that while I was in that child's life, I spent and I took care of my child. The only reason I'm not in the child's life anymore is because you're a low level, dusty, pathetic liar. And because of that, your child has lost a father. Your child has lost the resources that a good father would have done for her by helping her mental disability, by trying to get her into the best schools, by researching her condition and doing the right thing for her. That child has now lost that. People, I'm going to move on with my life. I'm going to find a respectable, good woman who knows how to be a mother to a child, and I'm going to have another baby and forget about this baby all the way. My mother being the great woman she was, for people who watch me might think, Clayton, that's not right. But you didn't know my mother like I knew her. I did. And the one thing she would not have wanted was for me to be in a situation where someone is doing the things that has been done to me in the last 5 years by my ex-girlfriend or this disgusting woman who I had a child with. So people, sometimes I've learned in my life that the best thing to do is walk away. And you walk away when you have no choice. You walk away when the odds are stacked against you. Just because you may be winning battles don't mean you're winning the war. And the war against the Brooklyn family court or any family court is a war. You can win 80 battles in a row and the judge be corrupt and literally snake you out of the whole war. People, I have won every motion that I've put in the Kings County Family Court. Every one. Contempt charges, enforcement orders, custody orders. People, I've won every order. But the damn judge has never enforced the orders against the woman. The judge refuses to hold her accountable for lying and filing false petitions. The judge refuses to hold her accountable for failing to comply with orders to release medical records. The judge refuses to comply with the judge knows for a fact that she's filing false petitions on me and lying and trying to manipulate the tribunal. People, how the hell can I win? How can I win when the judge is so biased and there's so much racism and corruption within the courts that even though I'm legally winning the litigation, I'm being oppressed by an oppressive judge whose mission is to mitigate the man and suppress the man to the power of the family court system. People, there's no way I can win. So, people, I'm already suing the NYPD in New York, and I have a great civil attorney by the name of Tyrone Blackburn. Mr. Blackburn has been listening to me for about a year, and no one likes the family court. It's horrible litigation because the family court is unregulated and the judges can claim 11th Amendment immunity. So a lot of attorneys, unless you come into them with a bag, they're not even willing to hear you talking about suing the family court or suing the judge, period, because it takes work. But people, my idiot child's mother did something for me so beautiful a couple of weeks ago that I should thank her dirty. self, but I won't. She filed another false petition on it. So, considering that I had given my attorney all the proof of what had already happened in the Brooklyn family court, and he saw this new petition, the first thing he said is, Clinton, order the transcript for that hearing. So, people, I ordered a transcript for the hearing, and do you know what I learned from the transcript of the hearing and what we both learned? That this disgusting crackhead prostitute woman lied through her teeth, people, and we could prove it. So I go to court yesterday, and her snake, redhead, racist lawyer tries to say, oh, well, he sent her curse messages. My lawyer already has the messages, people, and I don't curse her out in the message. I'm cursing in general because that happens to be my regular talk in the streets of New York. I use profanity. So in messages to her, I was talking about the court and other people, but I never cursed her out. I didn't call her a bitch. I didn't call her a hoe. I didn't disrespect her, tell her how I was going to hurt her. I didn't threaten her. I didn't do any of that. I was actually talking about other people. So this racist attorney tried to use my negative language speaking about the judge in the court to try to get me arrested, which didn't work because my lawyer walked in there and chewed this fat racist piece of shit out. Like, dude, hold on. I don't care about those recordings. He doesn't insult her. He insults you. He insults her, and he insults the judge. Her meaning the child's lawyer. He insults the cult officials outside of the court. He's not insulting her. He doesn't call her a bitch. He doesn't threaten her in any way. He doesn't do that. So that doesn't mean anything. Now, my lawyer tells him, you knowingly filed a false petition on. So now your ass is going to get sued because you know you lied on this guy to the court. So people, it got so bad in family court that my attorney and this guy was going to fight in the court. And people, I realized how mature I got because the old Clayton, as soon as my attorney would have turned up, that would have been a green light for me to turn up. And I'd have knocked this racist cracker the fuck out. And I could have, people. I could have broke her lawyer's jaw yesterday, and I wanted to, people. Like my lawyer and him's beef, and I had to get between my lawyer to keep my lawyer from beating this racist piece of shit's ass. So while I'm getting between them, his jaw is like right here, people. And I'm like, yo, Elliot, man, I'm doing you a favor. I'm standing between you so you don't get your ass whipped. And I strongly suggest you move. So he's like, let him touch me. Let him touch me. He wants my lawyer to attack him because he realized that his client, my lying ass daughter's mother, has him in the jam. People, he's pissed. He's pissed he's being sued for a case he was assigned freely because he lied. Now, the whole time it's going on, my dusty child's mother, her crackhead, her mother's an ugly gorilla ass chick. I was shocked to see this woman in this nasty weave. But you know, I'm glad to be away from these disgusting people because I don't even have to associate with this disgusting chick or her bum ass family no more now that this has happened. So I'm really glad at what happened yesterday. So as I'm sitting there and I'm watching all this, her and her family is smiling. And I just looked at her like, you pathetic piece of shit. You really think this is funny? All of this drama is going on because you lied to the court because I can expose you for being negligent and a fucking prostitute. And you'd rather sit here and laugh with all of these people's lives are on the line. All of this drama going on because you lied to the court. People, while I sat there looking at this Dusty Mike Roach chick, I said to myself, Clayton, the best decision you've ever made is to abandon this child. People, I abandoned that child. I abandoned the child to get away from the low level, drug addict, disgusting prostitute of a mother. Yes, I did. Do I feel any guilt about it? Absolutely not, people. I feel again like this is the best and the freest decision I've made in the last 3 years. As a man, I am not held to the same obligations of parentage as a woman, even though, legally we should be. But legally, as a man, if you are trying to do what the best thing you can for your child, if you're taking care of your child, and the mother is the one who's doing everything she can to interfere with your relationship with a child, the audience, you are not wrong. Men, excuse me, you are not wrong if you decide to abandon that child. Because here's the thing that I'm going to tell you, and it's a rough thing to understand, but it's the truth. No one is a, you are not a benefit to your child being a loser. You're not a benefit to your child being unemployed. You're not a benefit to your child having no money. You're not a benefit to your child having no education. And you're not a benefit to your child in fucking jail and with bad credit, people. It might work when you're young because children don't understand the value of the help that parents are supposed to give them as they age. But people, I can't allow this bum ass chick to destroy my life and then my daughter hits 17, 18 years old and needs different resources or services and I can't pay for them. No, people, I can't do that. So if this child is going to have a hard life because her parent is a loser, she's going to be forced to stay with the parent who actually is a loser, not the one who's not. So maybe in 15 or 16 years, when she's old enough to get on a plane and make phone calls by herself, she'll call me up and say, hey, I'm your daughter. And can we talk? Fucking absolutely, kid. Where are you? Are you around your mother? I want nothing to do with her. If you're not around your mother, I'll come see you or I'll fly you wherever I am right now because I want to see you. I do not want to see your mother. People, I'm saving all the court records. I'm saving all the transcripts. That is my plan for when my child reaches an age that if she has the mental capability for me to show her what her mother did. I'm not going to waste another day of my time trying to be in this child's life. I'm going to go on with my life. I'm going to get a new woman. I'm going to have new children. I'm going to be happy. Fuck that low level prostitute. She can deal with that mentally disabled child by herself and leave me the hell alone. I want nothing to do with it. And this is the advice I give any man. You're not wrong if you choose to abandon a child because the mother is against you. And women out there, because it does happen in far fewer situations, excuse me, but it happens to women also. If your child's father happens to have custody or whatever, and he is doing things to try to manipulate you to stay in his life with the child, you don't have to go for that. If he's intentionally alienating you and you are part of a corrupt legal system that is depriving you of your rights, depriving you of your liberties, depriving you of the justified orders that you're actually winning in court simply because it wants to aggrandize the other parent due to discrimination, bias, or racist people, you don't have to accept that. It may hurt. You're advised that you have to do everything for your child, but I say this again and I say it confidently. You can be no help to your child if you're a loser. You can be no help to your child if you're not able to do anything for that child's life. So sometimes, people, it's best to abandon the ship. It's best to jump aboard off of a sinking ship and sail to safety or swim to safety and build your own raft in your own life. And people, that's what I've decided to do with this child. I have completely abandoned any access to this child, completely abandoned any calls to this child. People, I don't want to see this child. I don't want to do anything with this child until this child is old enough to contact me on her own. I will have no contact with her mother. I want nothing to do with that disgusting low level piece of shit. And people, I even put an order of protection on her in New Jersey because New Jersey issues lifetime orders of protection that once I win, she will never be able to contact me again because people, I am tired. I don't deserve this. I never deserved it. Just because you don't want to be with a person, they're going to use a child to try to harass you, lie to you, the police. People, I read that transcript from this girl's order of protection hearing on April 10th, and I was disgusted. Every allegation that I had reported to the court and to ACS, she tried to lie on me and report to court, hoping that she could beat me by reporting it to the court with a corrupt attorney. Now, mind you, I've already reported it to the child's lawyer 3, 4 months ago. I've reported it to ACS a month prior to that. But people, that's what she does. And the family court will help them, even though the family court knows these allegations previously exist. Because by helping lying ass women, the family court extends the litigation another 6 months to a year. People, I wasn't going through that. I wasn't going through another year of my life fighting completely false allegations and knowing that the court is going to take no action against this woman once I prove that all of her allegations are false. People, I'm tired of that shit. I refuse to be a subjected slave to the Brooklyn family court. I refuse to be a slave to any family court. These people use a draconian system of racism to control us and minorities in these family court settings. We're black. We are the ultimate product of the criminal justice system. Minorities out there. If you're a black man, if you're a Spanish man, if you're any minority, you are the primary wanted target of the law enforcement system. And don't think that these laws are fair. They're not. These systems are not fair. They're put in place to deprive you of the necessary equality you might need in order to get a fair shake. This is why you go to family court and family court lawyers refuse to honor orders you may have been granted. This is why if you can prove that a woman lied to you on a false police report or a false family court petition, they won't arrest them. Because if they arrest them for filing false reports, it damages their future credibility and they can't get any more innocent black people or minorities arrested. So this is why law enforcement in the family court doesn't charge women who lie on other people to go to court. They want them to keep filing. This is the only way the system supports itself, people. We have to take enough of a stance to say enough is enough. We don't support these systems. We boycott them. Now, yeah, people will still go to family court and file orders of protection against you. It can. But what you need to do is once you're able to prove that person lied on you, get them arrested. File the police reports. File complaints. People, you can't leave it alone because the cops won't do anything. People, you contact IAB. You contact the Judiciary Board of Review. You make your complaints because you have a right to have your offender arrested if they file false police reports. And the police should not deny you that right simply because they don't want to do their job and they want the statistics to stay the same. No, people. So I lobby against the family court. I've sued the Brooklyn Family Court for $8 million, which was filed yesterday. I had a notice of claimant before that, but the lawsuit wasn't actually filed. Now that I have a great civil attorney who sees the corruption and misconduct, he filed my amended complaint yesterday, and we're seeking $8 million that my child's mother will get no fucking part of. People, I'm tired of people. And like I've said in many of my broadcasts, sometimes in life we come across people that may need a helping hand. But you can't put your hand in the garbage and expect to come out with a piece of good property. No, people. Stuff is put in the garbage for a reason. A year or so ago, 3 years ago or so, I put my penis in the garbage, and unfortunately, I came out with the trash that is my child's mother all around me. From that trash, one small piece of value was found in a child who happens to be damaged. People, should I continue to go and try to deal with that garbage can and deal with that damaged piece of reasonably savable property? And I'm not saying that to minimize my daughter. I'm saying it's the truth as an analogy. Should I ruin my life to continue to pursue a child that is mentally disabled with a woman that is a criminal, a drug addict, and an completely nefarious person? People, I say no. I say I have the right to abandon that child. I have the right to abandon a mother who chooses to try to destroy me. I have the right to my peace, my freedom, and my success. And people, I choose to accept it. So we're going on 30 minutes. This was a brief podcast, people. But again, you have the right to abandon your child if the other parent is trying to destroy you. You don't have to pay child support if you can prove that the other parent is intentionally abusing process to try to keep a barrier between you and the child. The people, you can DM me. I'm not a lawyer, but I can advise you. I can provide you with the template that I got the template on mine. I will so help you stop payments from an alienating parent. Because see, people, this is how we stop it. We starve the system. The system that makes you pay child support can't make you pay child support legally if the custodial parent is keeping you from the child. A lot of times, men, a lot of times, women, we pay it because we don't want the aggravation of our license being suspended or being arrested. But how you do it, people, is you don't stop paying the support. You petition the court, you build the evidence, and you show the court this is why and this is why you won't pay it. You put it on the record. Now, if they don't give it to you, you can sue them because you're being alienated. And being alienated, you do not have to pay child support. And that's the key. You know what I'll actually do, people, because now it's the weekend, it's Saturday. Tomorrow I'll do a live cast about that. How to get around child support when the custodial parent is intentionally keeping you away from your child. That'll be the live cast. Because people, this is how we hurt the system. Title IV is a reimbursement title where they put people on child support to reimburse the money that the state is paying to these women who claim they need assistance. So people, by showing the courts that the women are purposely doing this, it will affect their aid. And people, guess what? The state may finally do something. People, that's what I'm about. This girl wanted to lie and try to do things to deprive me of the child. I'm just going to attack her aid from the Department of Social Services by proving that she's been lying, proving that she falsified documents, and proving that she alienated me from the kid. People, as far as my order of protection against her goes, I have one. And this one is going to be for life. I'm done, people. I don't want this girl around me. I don't care what happens to this kid. I won't care if something bad happens. Yes, it'll hurt me, people. But I cared when I found my mother dead on the floor. I cared when my best friend died of cancer, people. I cared a lot of times, people, but I got over it. So guess what? I'll get over this child. I'll have another one. I'll move on with my life, and God will bless me because I deserve it. And the roach woman who I impregnated, who thought she was going to use a child to try to gain an uplift for herself, people, she's going to stay in the bottom in the garbage where she belongs because that's where garbage belongs. You don't take garbage out the trash and put garbage in a nice setting. No, people, you leave garbage in a can and you let it be taken to the landfill. And that's all my child's mother is a garbage ass little chick who's going to spend the rest of her life in the landfill in the Bronx in New York City. That's pretty much it. So, people, we don't want to go over 30 minutes, even though we have. I'll be hopping at Operation Rock and Clayton. It's been a nice 2-week hiatus, but I'll be back tomorrow with how to walk you through how to petition the Commissioner of Social Services or the family court to suspend all payments of child support if the custodial parent is intentionally alienating you from the child. Because, people, that's how we hold them accountable. We try to attack their money. You attack their money, they attack the people that's doing things to you. People, I'm attacking their money. I don't give a damn about the people doing things. I realize that you can't change the system without attacking the system. The people who use the system are pawns. The system is the problem. I attack the system. On behalf of our Justice and Operation Rock, this is a free man signing off. I may have lost a daughter, people, but I've gained back my freedom. I've gained the majority of my peace back, and I've gained the ability to move on without the worry of having to deal with an issue that caused me so much pain. So I'm incredibly happy. at the fact that I have believed and signed over all rights to this disabled child. I really am. God knows I'm happy. People. I didn't know how the hell I was going to get through the next 10 years dealing with this child. And people now, because of this lying chick, I don't have to. So, people, on behalf of Justice and Operation Rock, you see my smile today. People, it is the smile of a triumphant man and the smile of a man who knows that God helped him make the right decision. I want nothing to do with this woman. I have peace. God has granted me another opportunity to have a child with a good woman who I can experience the entire process from pregnancy to birth. I won't miss my child's first steps. I won't miss her first words. The child will be normal, so the child will talk to me and call me daddy. People, here's the saddest part of my situation. My child has never called me daddy when she's 4 years old. How do you think that makes me feel? How do you think it makes me feel that I've missed all of her birthdays because her mother has lied? I've missed all of her Christmases because her mother has lied, and she's never even called me daddy. Do you really think that I have a problem with letting go of this child? Absolutely not. People, on behalf of Justice and Operation Rock, this is Clayton signing off. And people, remember, sometimes the things your enemies do to you aren't really bad. Sometimes your enemies are giving you gifts that you should embrace, tuck it in like a football, and run for the damn goal line. My child's mother gave me an out dealing with this autistic child. And people, I embrace it, I accept it, and I run in the opposite direction. On behalf of Justice again, people, in Operation Rock, this is Clayton. Thank you for watching.